So, Namanya, como lo mencionábamos, es originaria de la India, entonces estará hablando en inglés. Entonces, cualquier situación nos van a apoyar en la traducción. Solo mencionar, breve presentación. Ella también es odontóloga y maestra en epidemiología por parte de la India. Actualmente también estudia su segundo máster, que es en salud global en la Escuela de Salud Pública de la Universidad de Harvard. Entonces, pues, un fuerte aplauso para Namanya, por favor.
Good morning, everyone. I'm not sure if everyone understands English, so I'll try to speak slow. Also, if anyone did not understand what I'm saying, so please they can raise their hand and I'll try to translate it into Spanish. Okay. So, hi, I am Namanjaya. So I am by profession, I'm a dentist. And I have a master's in public health. My specialization earlier was in epidemiology, and now I have recently moved to Boston for a master's in public health. The specialization now is in global health. My batchmate Alberto has actually explained the whole project quite in detail, so I'm not sure if anything is left, but I'll try my best to explain what we did in this practicum. Again, I had thanked Professor Ariel, Hector, Vladimir, sorry, I cannot pronounce your name, and Alberto enough for this, but then I'll try to do this. Okay, let me start with the presentation. If anyone has any sort of doubts or they don't understand, please raise their hand. Okay, so Alberto has did introduce exactly the geography of Mexico. I am trying to explain what exactly we were here for. So we were here for a practicum with the University of Mexico and a lot more of collaborators. The purpose of this research specifically was to shed light about people living on the streets, especially those who are spending the night in the tourist corridor of Mexico City. That is the border with the United States and Guatemala. The objective for our research was to foster a discussion and reflection environment among homeless people who witness this daily reality. I will go to the next slide now. So basically, when we thought of doing this research, we divided our research into 3 objectives. The first was to examine the health conditions of individuals facing homelessness, migrants, just a second, and key groups at the border. The second objective was to explore migration journeys and their impact on health outcomes. And the third one, to identify and analyze strategies adopted by individuals to navigate health challenges. Just a second.
Sí, se ve bien. Solo se... List.
Okay. I'm not sure if I just a second, it's just a technical glitch. Give me a minute. So I'll now focus a bit on the key process and learning of our practicum. So we kind of divided our practicum into 4 categories. The first was observation. For observation, we went to 3 places. I'm not sure if I'll be able to pronounce them properly. It's Clínica Condesa, Santiago, Unidad Clínica Trans. The second was academic learning. We are very thankful to Professor Ariel that he made us meet the stalwarts in the field of public health within the UNAM who taught us courses related to public health. The third was field experience. And the fourth one was networking. I have kind of tried to put some pictures related to academic learning. I'm so sorry because it's not being. Okay. So in academic learning, as I explained earlier, we kind of did classes related to global health, gender, history of Mexico, and how before colonization, the epidemics were comparatively little lesser as compared to now. Here in the observations, we realized that accessibility, availability, and affordability to healthcare services are pretty good in Mexico, but there's a need for strong referral and good infrastructure. Field experience, the networking part. Okay. I actually tried writing something in Spanish, but I'm not sure if it is visible. So the challenges which we saw was first was limited access to healthcare services. The second one was language barriers in health communication. The third one was gender specific health disparities. The fourth one was less patient turnout to be specialized clinics. And the fifth one was less number of mobile clinics. I have written it in Spanish. I'm not sure if you people are able to read it. Yeah. Okay, so the recommendations, I tried putting the recommendations into short-term goals and long-term goals. The first would be conducting a baseline health assessment. Another one would be mapping migration journeys and challenges ethnographically for transit as well as permanent migrants. The next one would be language barrier assessment. And the last one would be collaborative partnership with existing NGOs and local communities. The long-term goals would be developing culturally tailored health interventions, implementing multilingual health services, advocate for policy changes, specific reservation for LGBTQ+A in education and employment, establish community empowerment programs, identification of card assistant programs, introduction of mandatory sensitization courses in school and degree level, specifically medical, law, and government services. This is the way forward. So basically, I tried dividing the way forward into 3 main categories. The first was sustainability, because whatever we did now during the practicum, we want that this should be taken forward specifically by the collaborators. Second one is intersectoral collaboration. We realized that this cannot be done only by the health department. So all the departments like education, employment, health, and the NGOs and CSOs need to come together. And the third one would be economic benefit to the government. So it's like beneficio economico para el government. Yeah. So basically it means that we always think from the public health perspective, where we are thinking about the homeless people. But we also forget the fact that government is also looking for some economic benefits. So if we kind of vaccinate everyone who is present in Mexico City or in the country of Mexico, we would be able to lesser the epidemic, and we would be able to contain any kind of epidemic or viruses, which would in turn lead to an economic benefit for the government. Also, there are a lot of people who are in the transit phase, like they wanted to go to the US, but they could not, and that's why they are staying in the Mexico right now. So if we kind of educate and employ them, that would be an economic benefit to the government. That's it. And I'm not sure if anyone understood the presentation, but if anyone has any doubts, I am open for questions. Yeah.
Thank you, doctora Ana Mangia. Pasamos a la ronda de preguntas. Si alguien tiene preguntas. preguntas? Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Ok, continuamos con nuestro programa. Vamos a pasar a la siguiente mesa. Ahora ya viene una mesa de discusión. La mesa que sigue es una mesa muy interesante, muy importante, sobre interseccionalidad y derechos humanos de las personas que habitan en la calle. Y ya veo por aquí que están nuestros panelistas. Entonces, en unos minutos nos vamos a conectar